Welcome to another edition of Tom's Real Food Podcast. Today's podcast is brought to you by beef. Save money, 10 pounds of beef shoulder cut into 7 different meals. Also, clean cutting board, sharp knife. Let's get back to the podcast. Hey everybody, welcome back. I am Tom Garber, the Keto Cook. Today on Tom's Real Food Podcast, this is podcast number 13, my lucky number. Right? This is going to be a good one because we're going to chat a little bit of everything. What goes on in a keto lifestyle or low carb or carnivore, how to prepare foods, easy way to save money. If you don't know how to, butcher up meat, whatever like that, it's not a big deal. You can learn. It's very easy. All right. It's trial and error basically, but the whole idea is to break something down so that you can make different meals on it. You could take that piece I did in the beginning there. I got 7 cuts out of it. All right. I got a couple London broils that I used, a little smaller. I got a couple nice little steaks out of it, but then I broke the rest of it up into stew meat because you know what? Fall is here. Tell Las Vegas that, okay? Tell Las Vegas, fall's here. 106 today. Whew, unbelievable. Anyway, I broke that up and made 7 different dinners out of it. And the point being is stress. Lower the stress. You go to the supermarket, you can I watch people that have a list and they look at stuff and you can see them cross it off because of the prices. And they're all coming down a little bit. Gas is down a little bit, whatever. But you got to make sure you take care of yourself and your family. All right. Now there's just 2 of us in this house here. I have from shopping and cutting up different meats the way I do. All right. Saves us a lot of money, and we have enough food to last us. At least cut the bill in half. I know people where I live. They come out every day. They go to the supermarket and come home and make dinner. That's great. I mean that's not a problem. I don't see the benefit of that. But there again, that's them. And this is what I do here. With that being said. I'm not sure if everybody's going to want to follow watching that video, but it's me cutting up meat. It's saving money, and it's really easy to do. So I suggest, if you don't mind, check it out on Wednesdays. Podcast is on Monday. I do my keto channel on Wednesdays. And also now I just started with it premiered this past Saturday. A friend of mine, another YouTuber, we started a cancer chat. Now I had type 2 diabetes, and I also had bladder cancer. And that's from the bladder cancer I developed type 2 diabetes, so this all comes together. So that's going to be on every Saturday at 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 1 o'clock Eastern Time. If you don't mind, please go check it out. We're going to try to bring it up as a podcast. We both came about this is because we sort of found out how I knew Michelle for probably 2 years now, and we just found out one another had cancer in the past. So we're survivors that are going to talk about it. Another stress. So eating the way I do. Now I got to put some things out there right now. So when I say I do a keto lifestyle, okay, what is a keto lifestyle? What is keto? Keto foods and stuff. Well, the whole term keto is that the way you eat, you get yourself put into ketosis. All right, so that your body starts burning more fat than it does glucose. Also, your brain can run really well on ketones, all right, rather than glucose. Now, this is how I found this out almost the hard way, because I beat myself up to the point where I'm saying, I'm doing this wrong, I'm not in ketosis anymore, and, go through this whole routine. But I started this back in 2016, on it for a little while. I told you my story before. I lost 44 pounds, gained 60 back. And then once I moved out here again, had COVID twice. And I said, you know what, this is bull crap. I'm going to go back. I'm going to get back to where I want to be. Uh, I got myself back. I lost at that point. I think I lost like 30 some pounds, or almost 40 pounds. I got my blood sugar numbers down to my overnights would be like 110. So almost back to the point where I was not a type 2 diabetic anymore, but I was. I still was. The problem is I like bread. I like to cook. Retired chef. I mean, always. I mean, how can you not make a gravy without using some kind of flour or roux or something? And I had to get away from it. I had to learn different ways of doing it, and I did. But I fell off the wagon a couple times, and I'm not ashamed to say it. This past time that I did it, on the weekends I played in a band, and one night I went to get up. After we got done, let me give you a quick story. After we would get done playing, we go and have like a midnight snack type of thing. These guys were eating anything, pancakes and stuff like that. I would have a burger on, just everything on a plate. And the thing of it was how I realized uh, the place where we would go, your food came in a basket. All the burgers and stuff came in a basket, with a little paper in it, and they put the burger in it. So when I when I asked the waitress to give me a hamburger, no bun, she like looked at me like like I had six heads. What the hell's wrong with him? What's wrong with this guy? But when it came out, nobody realized it. But when it came out, it was in a basket. How do you eat it? Okay, so being on my lifestyle and knowing that it works, I'm watching these other guys, and they were pretty chunkers. You know what I mean? Everybody's talking about their problems and whatever. And here I am compromising to them, all right, and sacrificing my health that I was getting back and got back, all right, to peer pressure. Talk about stress. So next week we went out. You're gonna go? Yeah, let's go. Me and my wife would go. The next thing you know, I'm eating burgers and French fries, the whole bit. Well, I started feeling aches and pains again. My joints started hurting. I mean, it just was ridiculous. Long story short, I went to step up onto the stage. It was like a one higher step than than normal, and I stepped up on it. My knee gave away. Down I went, and they carried my big ass out of the casino where I was playing in the band. That started the ball rolling. Okay, and then I had to go get the shots and all this stuff in the knee, and then my blood sugar just kept rising. So stress. Um, even if you think when you first get up in the morning and you're a type 2 diabetic, you get up in the morning and you do your blood sugar. Okay, you have nothing, no water, whatever. Do your blood sugar and it's high. Well, mine never came down. That was the problem. So whatever I did to my system, okay, either by the initial fact of going back again with higher A1C, higher elevated blood sugars, doing my test, testing in the morning, and the shots I got in my knee. When I got the shots in my knee, when the doctor was putting it into my knee, all right, he looked up at me and he said, "Are you a type 2 diabetic, by the way?" I said, "Yeah." "Oh," he says, "I wish I would have known that ahead of time." "Well, don't you read the papers?" I mean, I was out there with, it looked like I was filling out a job application, for crying out loud, with all the information they wanted. Anyway, but my blood sugar did go up. It went up a little over 400 points, which is not good for a guy my age and for what what I was trying to accomplish. So yeah, stress right there. Now that I'm back into it again, I'm having a rough. It's coming down. Don't get me wrong. It's coming down, but it's taking longer. It's taking much longer than what I anticipated it to do. It's probably teaching me a really good lesson. And like I said, I'm getting older. In a couple of weeks, I'm going to be 70. And I'm trying to be not that guy that's sits on the couch, with the ball games and whatever. I'm trying to try to keep moving around and do things. Right. That's why I cook a lot. I have a lot of videos on my channel, and I'm trying to get the word out for people to understand that, guess what? When I say I'm keto, I had one person said, "Well, I don't like the keto. I'm carnivore." Okay, yeah. So why don't you like keto? Well, too many vegetables, this and that. I said, you do realize that it's this, basically the same thing. We want to get into ketosis. Okay, you want to get your body running like a well-oiled machine. You do understand that, right? So even if carnivore is like an elimination diet, you know what I mean, and you can have some cheese and some stuff like that. But I see some of these guys who are super strict, and I applaud them. I really do. All right, some of the doctors that are out there to talk about it, Dr. Ken Berry's a great guy, proper human diet. But then he sort of wobbles back and forth with keto and that, with the carnivore. But it's all basically the same thing: zero sugar, low carb. All right. If you eat a lot of chicken, okay, it can actually high protein, no fat, can actually turn into glucose. It'll actually work the opposite. So what I said earlier on is that what, under stress and with your insulin shooting straight up in the air there, like I call insulin, Barney Fife. Oh, what's going on? So you stress about it. Next thing you know, yeah, I'm gonna have chicken. Just gonna eat chicken, nothing else. That's that. You got to add more fat to it. You got to. The whole idea is not to overeat. That's number one. You can also gain weight from eating no sugars and no carbohydrates. You can overeat a ton of meat and gain weight. Yes, sir. I mean, this is like, wow, overwhelming. And then you turn around and try to fight that. Try to wean yourself off of. Well, I'm gonna have a little. Maybe I'll do the chicken in some avocado oil or with some butter, and do it that way. So I did start carnivore to get myself back a little bit. Whatever weight I did gain from, I was laid up for 7 months. 7 months, 4 of them on my back, couldn't walk. I had to have a walker. Well, what a mess it was. It just was a mess. And the more I think about it, okay, it was all caused because I was putting too much carbs. I went back to carbs. French fries. Wrong, there's the standard American diet, the wrong stuff. And I don't want to ramble. I don't want to sound like I'm bouncing back and forth here, but it's all relative, all right? The sugar and the high fructose corn syrup is just about in everything. You read the packages. Like I said, become a label reader. Read what's going on. That is almost insane. How much sugar is in everyday food and I'm really feeling bad for my grandsons because guess what? That's all they eat. They don't know any better. My daughter's trying to make ends meet, and they're big kids. So the problem is, once you adjust, get away from that sugar and stuff, your body still adjusts. Don't forget, your body still makes glucose. All right, your body makes ketones, but with adding so much glucose to your system, okay, you don't get a chance to go into ketosis, hardly ever. So that's a problem. That's a big problem. So getting back to, like I keep saying, for my personal health is, I was getting really mad at myself because numbers ain't coming down. Why ain't they coming down? Well, there again, what was I eating? I had to step back out of the circle again and figured out that, well, sometimes at night Maria will make most of it all the time, a little snack. She'll take shredded cheese, cheddar and Monterey Jack, right? Now, there again, you don't know the quality of it, and you can read the ingredients in it, and some of it's not clean, but for that little bit of amount that we would have, guess what? It was no good. Cut it out. I stopped it. And after I stopped it, the next morning I got up. Actually, it was 2 days. The next time I checked my blood sugar in the morning like that, it was below 200. Okay, so it was the cheese. There again, not super high, in carbohydrates, relatively little. All right. But the other ingredients is what don't forget, when you buy shredded cheese in the store, it's got potato starch on it. All right. That's how it doesn't clump. If you turn around, I did a video. I got to find it. I got to put it up on one of these podcasts. I did a video where I shredded cheese. I shredded, whew, man, I think I bought 5 or 6 pounds of block cheese, blended it all together, put it in the refrigerator. Next day I went to go use it for something, and guess what I had? Block cheese. It all stuck back together again. So, I mean, with the starches and stuff in there, and it's convenient. And that's the problem that we have in our society right now. It is convenience. Nobody wants to really do the job of making fresh bread, okay? I mean, if you had the right components and stuff, you can get away with bread once in a while. I can't, all right? It just affects me to no end. I mean, I know it's a problem. But so what I did do was I went and I got some harder cheeses. So I got Parmesan. I always use Parmesan, but I got the wedges. I paid a little bit more money for it, and I also picked up pecorino. All right, and it's a goat milk cheese. Great flavor, great taste. Okay. Watching Nick Norowitz, one of his videos. He's a PhD, a younger guy who had stomach issues. Let's put it that way, and that's as far as I'm going to go with it. And he sort of reversed his problems by the ketogenic lifestyle, and reversed it. But there was talk going around that there's a new medium chain triglyceride. It's an odd chain because of the number. There's 5 components to it rather than just 4. And it is called C15. That was developed from, I can't remember the woman's name. I'm sorry, I'm not doing you justice. I will do it, though, next time. And anyway, this is one component that they're finding out that can actually help lower your insulin resistance. Okay? I said, I'm 100% on board with this. And come to find out that through Nick, I found out the only way that you can get this naturally is if you have raw milk or if it's processed raw, but you need to have it explained that component of cow's milk is raw, and it does have this in there. But the other way it has it is in the pecorino cheese, and just a small amount is like your daily doses of what you need. So I've been using that. Now I don't blow smoke or anything else like it, but it may actually cut my sugars down, not by much, but it's going the other way where I want it to go. So like I said, between my age, thinking you're eating the right stuff, all right, and come to find out, well, why can't I get my numbers down? Well, there again, you go back to the carnivore. You can have some meats and stuff. Now there's all kinds of controversy, no matter what we say or what we do or how it's working for somebody. There's always somebody out there that's going to cut your legs out. That's junk. That's garbage. All right. And, an enabler for another way of doing things. Now, I have no qualms with vegans. I have no qualms with vegetarians. I have no qualms with nobody. There again, you do you, I'll do me. If your way is showing a lot more progress, I'll come over and try it, without a doubt. All right. But it's got to be cut out for what you're doing. And the reason why I'm doing this podcast is because, there again, I'm not a doctor or scientist, but there is a lot of evidence right now that this is working. This the ketogenic, low carb, carnivore community. Okay. There's a lot of people reversing their histories. And I would like to see some younger people start doing this, because this is where the problem is. There's more cancers in younger people than ever before, and it's what you're putting up into your mouth here, because everybody's on a fast pace. Everybody's on that fast pace because they're like this, okay? And that's why they're on a fast pace, because they are zoomed out, completely out, and what it says on here is 100% truth. It's not. It's not. Now, I do Google a lot of stuff. I do tell people, don't buy apps and stuff to tell you how many carbs are in something. That you can Google, all right? But after a while, it becomes a no-brainer of what you're doing. Now, what I'm just got done telling you all about What's the number one component about it? Stress. Why can't I get my blood sugar down? Hmm. Where do I get that cheese? Oh God, let me go. Let me go see if I can find that. So, it's not the easiest thing in the world to do. It really isn't. I like I say, I step out of the circle and try to evaluate. Now, what's really wrong with this? What's wrong with this picture? Or why am I mad about it? You know what I mean? And you can talk your way out of it until the next problem. You know, but you got to be aware of it, and that's once you're aware of your stress. Okay, like me cutting that meat, uh, I felt great, really felt great. Wow, this look how we got. We got 7 different meals. This is going to be fantastic. Now, for the two of us, that's a good thing. Now I know what I'm going to have for that tomorrow. Now I know what I'm going to do over there. Um, and when I got all done, I went to put everything into the sink, dropped my knife, and the handle broke. Back up again. So it's a never ending cycle, and just try to do the best you can. So a lot of times, even if you're eating clean, there are some people out in YouTube land that talk about, hey, um, uh, I eat strictly carnivore, my blood sugar goes up. Okay, well, there's all different reasons for that. It's not because of what you're eating. It is there again your stress level and how your body reacts to certain things. You could have a virus going on. You could have something. Okay, so it's don't go and blame uh, what you're eating. If you're eating no sugars and you're eating very low carb or zero carb, you are doing your body so much better than you would if you would say, "Oh, screw this, I'm going back. I want French fries." Okay, come on, use your noggin when it comes to that stuff. Back away, step out of the circle, and say, okay. But if you're eating clean, all right, no problem. If you don't have type 2 diabetes and you're doing this just to get your health back or just to feel better, if you go to a gym or whatever you do, all right, and if you don't have any health issues, you're doing you're putting yourself into a little bit more longevity than you really understand. Um, I have I have some people that talk to me and say, "Well, God, Tom, I tried this and I don't know how I just can't get some of that food down or anything like that." What are you talking about? I told one friend of mine, I said, "You're eating meat and vegetables. For crying out loud, what is the problem? Well, I'd like to have a potato." Well, if you don't have type 2 diabetes and if you don't have any kind of other health issues, okay, have a small potato, have a half potato, cut it in half, okay? Save it. Have one potato, eat it 3 times for the week. I mean, it's don't the pressure that people put on the stuff we put on ourselves is ridiculous. I came back from the store today. A quick little story. I'm in the car and I'm driving. All my stores where I live is the most central place I've ever in my entire life where I live, where everything is within a mile, maybe 3 miles the most. Okay, and that's going out on a limb as far as that. Um, I sat in traffic to go 2.5 miles. Okay, don't sound like a lot. Okay, but 15 minutes at a light. I was an older gentleman who either fell asleep at the wheel or whatever. Okay, but just with like people blowing the horns, this and that. One guy got out and looked, and as the guy got out and looked, then he took off. So I mean, I could feel it, getting ready to blow, getting ready to explode, and then just threw me off. Went into the store, just threw me off with everything, what I needed to get, the whole bit. So it can happen to you in a like that, in a lightning bolt, one shot deal. Good night. I am stressed out of my mind. And then don't go do your blood sugar because then guess what? That's the next thing. Cortisol is like all over the place now. Son of a bitch! Yeah, what are you doing, man? So it's kind of funny that I'm sitting there and I'm saying, why me? Why me? Am I behind this guy? I was like 4 or 5 cars away, but just to go to the store for a leisure, my exercise. I get out and I walk through the stores or whatever. I see something, I pick it up. But there was something I had to get, and there I was, stressed out of my bird. I was cuckoo. So Yeah, it's not really not good. All right, we're gonna take a quick break. Second half of this podcast is brought to you by next week's video, red wine sauce. Pray tell, what could that be? Hey everyone, throughout your lifetime, you meet certain people, you become friends, whether they're near or far. And as you communicate back and forth, you find out that, you know what? You both walk the same journey. Our journey with Michelle from Big Valley Living and myself, well, we share the battle with cancer. So we decided to get together and do a little live chat, cancer chat, stuff that you need to know. And I think it's going to be a good idea. So on October 5th at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, we are going to start this chat about our journeys with cancer. It's a good idea to tune in, and we'll see you on Saturday. Thank you. All right, with fall coming, like you've seen right there, that video, that sauce was fantastic. I'm telling you, that's stuff you can dabble with. Okay, if most of the time you cook the alcohol, a lot of people saying now, the alcohol still stays in there. Well, I'll tell you what. After I make that sauce, I'll pour you a glass of it and see if it affects you any. Um, but the whole thing is to play with your food a little bit more. Now that pork that I did right there, um, pork tenderloin, cut it out. I pounded it down a little bit, but the whole idea was it's not to make it tender because it already is tender. So and then I egged it and put the pork rinds on it. So when I cut them down to a certain size, the whole idea is you don't want the pork rinds or anything that you coat it with to burn because then it just changes the flavor completely. The broccoli was phenomenal. It really was good. Um, Now, is that one of our dinners? Yeah, damn right it is. You got to live a little bit, especially after finding out that if I'm going to be stressed out of my mind worrying about what I'm going to eat for dinner, or if some old guy fell asleep at the wheel at the light, or whatever, all right, I can have a little bit of that. Um, Once you get yourself into the motion of eating clean, all right, nothing wrong with pork rinds, a little bit of fat. The lean pork tenderloin, okay, a lot of protein. Got a good protein there. Uh, the wine with the butter, there you go. Butter with the fat, a little bit of savory with the wine. Get a little flavonoids in there, whatever, whether they cook out or not, is irrelevant. Okay, it's a great flavor, and the way the broccoli was done, you cannot beat it. All right, that is a great gourmet meal that you can make in your own house and feel good about it and lower your stress. I mean, I'm a big um, component of that. I want that to be in my life. I want that to be there without worrying about, geez, I can't have this. God, I can't have that. You were clean. Everything in that dinner was clean. So the following week, you have to watch that one also. Um, Getting into the week after that, you're going to see from the beginning of this one here, from the meat, from the 10 pounds of meat. I'm going to do a London broil, and came out fantastic. Really did. Start cooking. Uh, Take the bull by the horn a little bit. If you slip up a little bit here and there, it's okay. The nutrition that you're putting into your system, rather than junk, you're doing yourself 100 times better. All right. You miss a potato. Okay, like I said, if you're not a type 2 diabetic, or you're not really worried about blowing your head off your shoulders with high numbers, have it. Have a little bit of it. Me personally, I can't do it. I know better now. All right, I'm fighting. It's a daily fight for me because of what I did to myself. I actually, this time, like I said, I actually hurt myself. And as this video is up, I'm at the doctor's office. I wish they'd let me videotape that. And please don't take it the wrong way. Or I'm not fighting with my doctors at all. They're great people. They just don't understand my way of doing things. She knows a little bit about it, or not allowed to say it. I don't get that part of it, that they're not allowed to say it. I mean, if my cholesterol numbers are high and my LDL numbers are high, but my A1C dropped and my good cholesterol went up. Okay, I can tell you right here and now, I have a triglyceride problem. I definitely do. I was told many moons ago that it was hereditary. At one point, now any doctors out there, sit down, relax. At one point, my triglycerides were 1,680 in that ballpark. I mean, I did Visipa, I did all the the fish oils, all that stuff like that to get it back down. Through diet, I did drop it back down again. You got to understand, I was a carbaholic. All right, I was cuckoo for bread, pizza, any kind of high carb. That's the place where I came from, cooking in the restaurants. Very pastas, homemade pastas, whatever. That's what I was doing. That was my how I made money. All right, was cooking that kind of stuff. So I put myself in trouble. That's day in and day out of doing that kind of lifestyle. Once I did, it was funny because it was in Florida when they told me that, and I went and I seen my cardiologist, and he he put his arms like this and he said, "You ought to talk at cocktail parties." He said, "With your triglycerides." He said, "We got to get them down." And believe me, he scared the living hell out of me. But I had no blockages. They said I was 35%, and that's when they put the stent in. I don't understand that. There again, I'm not a doctor, but we worked on it, and I got it down. I got it down pretty good. I got it down probably 270, I think, in that realm of where I got it. I guess it's supposed to be 150 or below. Now, once I went back hardcore carnivore again, it went up. Now, how? Why? Because I wasn't eating. I was kind of under the impression that it was from carbohydrates. Okay, but there again, that story keeps going back and forth. The whole idea is I can't worry about it, and I can't have them foods anymore to worry about it. So I don't know. The next thing that I want to do is, being that fall is coming, okay, soups. I from using that cheese, that new, I always like pecorino, always use it, but it's not ready. You don't see it that much unless you go into the specialty section of the store, and a lot of people don't even. I don't want it. They'll get that green can from the middle of the store that doesn't have to be refrigerated. You know what I mean? And they'll use that kind of stuff, which is, to me, is garbage. It's not good for you. But we normally wouldn't get it because, especially making stop making pastas and stuff. Now I have another channel that I do, the Sunday Dinner Chef, and I do all my other cooking over there. Some of the stuff I did dabble in, but Marie, most of the time I'll make just enough for the film it, and then Marie will have it. But this pecorino, boy, I tell you what, really turned my head. Read labels. When you think you're safe from certain ingredients, and then you come to find out that you're not. Okay, and there again, I've been doing this a long time. It's okay. That little bit's not going to hurt me. Well, guess what? It hurt me. It really did. So, well, I babbled on a little bit too much today. I do have another podcast that we're doing, like I said, over on Saturday. It's called Cancer Chat with a good friend of mine from, her name is Michelle from Big Valley Living. Great channel. We both had cancer, and we're talking about it. And that premiered this past Saturday. But we're going to do every Saturday from now on. Have our chat about cancer and actually how I become the Tom Garvey, the Keto Cook. How this all took place. So, all right, everybody, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Hit that like and subscribe button. Come up to watch Wednesday for me, please. All right. Leave me a comment if you watch my knife skills. It's insane. But I again, on a serious note, learn how to learn how to do this. Learn how to break down a chicken. Learn how to do certain things in your own kitchen for your own family, and you'll save some money. And plus, it's better quality rather than pre-cut stuff, and how it's packaged, and actually how long it's been on the shelf. Hi, everybody. Thanks very much for watching. I am Tom Gorman, the Keto Cook. Today on Tom's Real Food Podcast. Join us next week. Thank you.